Well, hello there, my legacy leader. This is Patty Dominguez here with another episode for you. This is episode number 7. I'm sharing some quick tips on how I'm staying on track with the objectives that I want to achieve for this year, and I hope that they help you too. Here we go. Welcome to Her Legacy Podcast. Here we celebrate women in business doing more than just climbing that corporate ladder. This is about holding a space where we celebrate what it means to be a female entrepreneur. We share the good, the bad, the ugly of being in business for ourselves. Our vision is way bigger than just the fancy titles. It's about amplifying the vision each one of us has to leave our own dent in the world. And in doing so, we're inspiring other women to do the same. My name is Patty Dominguez, and welcome to Her Legacy Podcast for legacy leaders like you. Hey everybody, Patty Dominguez here. Happy New Year once again. I thought I would check in with you for some tips to help keep you on track to achieve those goals or the objectives that you're looking for. And there's nothing better than getting organized. And it doesn't have to be as daunting as we set ourselves up to be once we say, oh, we want to lose 500 pounds, or we want to make $1 million in our business, or we want to publish 3 books. It can be very simple when you chunk things down. And so my intention for this is just to share some tips that I am gathering as I'm going through my own process of staying on track. Now, one of the things that I just got into a mastermind this year in 2019 with a mentor of mine, and he passed out one of the planners. It is incredible. It is called the Phoenix Planner. And what I thought was really great is that it's starting at a very macro level. And this is very much in relation to how I'll go into a consulting situation or coaching, is that I really take that 35,000 point view to really get an understanding of what is it that that person, that business is looking for. And so tip number 1 is really about writing the vision of what you want your future to look like. And at a minimum, do it for the year. Look back as if it were December 31st. I talked about this in the last episode, and think about where you want things to be for yourself, for your business, for your personal life, professional life, etc. And so that is really key to keeping you on track, because when you have that vision and you write it out, you push through that fear of saying, oh, that's absurd. No, it's not. Write it down. As you may know, it may sound daunting, but it is absolutely important that you put that into place. Another thing, start small. Don't get overwhelmed with the idea of that big goal. Set your goals that you're more likely to stick with. Look over that calendar at the beginning of the week. I always write out my week on Sunday for what I want for that week coming as we're going into Monday. So I set my time on Sunday night. I actually schedule it, and I go through my planner. I take a look at what I want to achieve for that week. Start small. See where you can fit in the things that are most important to you, like the daily meditation, or maybe a date night, or perhaps your exercise regimen. Schedule it. If you don't schedule it, it won't happen. As far as I'm concerned, that's the way I operate. If it's not on my calendar, it's not going to happen. And so it's easier to stay on track with a realistic and specific goal. And plus, the truth is, you're less likely to get discouraged and quit altogether when you start small. So just chunk it up into a week at a time, putting those things that, especially focusing on self-care, on things that make you happy or that bring the focus that you need as you're headed into your work week. Tip number 2 is that you want to create an action plan. As with anything, you know my deal. I'm all about strategy. You want to have a strategy for your success. So you want to take a look ahead of time of where are the stop gaps? Where are the temptation things? Where are the things that could possibly sabotage where you may fly off the wagon, right? Because temptation is all around us. And it can be in terms of getting you off track with your meal planning or not exercising, because it's easy to just say, oh, I'll do it later. Just be honorable, be in integrity. Or if you're looking at the creating a habit for, let's say, a morning routine, don't hit that snooze button. Instead, get up and do what you said you were going to do. So these are the things about creating a plan. When you have a planner and you're putting in the days of the week and you're writing down exactly what it is you want to do, that's really critical to make sure that you are not giving into temptation. Of course, you also want to focus on the habits, right? So creating those habits and not just focus on the thing that you want or the outcome. listen, creating new habits can be difficult at first, but over time, and I heard, so there's varying degrees of this, but I heard that it takes 100 days to create a new habit. Some people say it takes 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I don't know. I don't necessarily know how long it takes. I go with 100 days. At first it's going to be tough, but after a while, the habits start to become a habit. It starts to become a part of your everyday and starts to become second nature. And so the deal is, in order to form a habit, you have to be consistent. That is the magic with anything that I have seen, or I have specific people in my life, friends that I have that are massively successful. Why? Because they take consistent action every day, in and out, over time, and they don't compromise that. And so they're very much in integrity, right? And in order to make those long-lasting changes, you have to be consistent, instead of it just being a short-term fix. Just be consistent. Another tip is make it fun, right? So find out what works for you. So if you're more likely to go to a spin class, like, I don't know, spin class that you go to because a friend of yours is signing up, get it done. I like going to Soul Cycle. I know that I'm motivated to go when a friend comes with me. It turns into a fun event as opposed to something that is a drag to go to. I have several friends who love that Peloton bike because they like the interaction, the gamification side of it. That is ways to make it fun. And of course, when you have an accountability buddy in place, somebody that you're held accountable to. I remember when I was training for the marathon many years back, one of the things was I would meet a friend at the trail on specific days to go for my run. And I knew that I was accountable to her. So I would get up no matter what the time in order to be at the trail on time. Because if it wasn't for her, chances are I wouldn't have gotten it done. So make it enjoyable. Having that accountability buddy is huge. And here's where I'm really bad. Here's the next tip. Reward yourself. I don't even think about rewarding myself. And this is something that I'm implementing in this year, is celebrating successes, right? Maybe it's a spa day, or treating yourself to a massage, or treating yourself to an awesome pair of shoes. What is the reward when you achieve that goal? Think about it. Well, write it down. Don't just say it or think about it. Write it down on your calendar so that you could keep your eye on the prize. Because here's the deal. It is really rewarding when you have something to look forward to. Eventually, you're going to find that the benefits that you receive from staying on track with your, resolutions or your goals or the objectives that you are looking to achieve, they're just way more fun when you have a reward at the end of the line. So reward yourself because you're worth it. And there you have it. These are the tips that I'm just thinking about jotting down. Hopefully they help you today. Let me know what you think about the habits or the rewards or the things that are helping you through as you are staying committed to your own objectives and your own goals for this year, because you're worth it. All right. Thank you. See you on the next episode. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Her Legacy Podcast. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. That way you won't miss any of the episodes. Also, if you're feeling very generous, please head on over to iTunes. Leave us a rating and review. I love the 5 stars, but more importantly, in the review section, let me know, where are you from? What are you doing? What's your business? How are you leaving your legacy? I want to know, leader. So that way I can give you a shout out on my show. So take advantage of that. Would love to hear you so that we're really creating momentum here with what we're doing at Her Legacy Podcast. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much for being here.